was abused by fans, and now David Seaman finally tells the truth. For decades, the legendary England goalkeeper stayed silent about the dark side of football. The culture of the sport made it impossible to speak out. Players were expected to take everything without complaint, but things have changed, and Seaman is finally ready to share what really happened behind the scenes. He saw teammates fall to drink, got spat on by fans, and still held the gloves through it all. This is his story. David Seaman earned his nickname Safe Hands through incredible saves and reliable performances. Over his career, he made 731 appearances for clubs like Arsenal and Manchester City. He won 3 league titles, 4 FA Cups, and represented England 75 times. But the nickname became ironic. While his hands were safe on the pitch, his mind was dealing with pressures most fans never knew about. The man who caught everything was struggling to catch a break from the darker side of fame. The world saw his legendary saves. They didn't see what was happening in private, and for years, Seaman couldn't talk about it either. In the 1990s at Arsenal, Seaman was part of something called the Tuesday Club. These weren't just social gatherings, they were intense drinking sessions that became a way for the team to bond. Nearly the entire squad would go out to races, restaurants, and bars every Tuesday afternoon. Seaman wasn't a heavy drinker himself, but he watched teammates take things too far. Some players would turn the Tuesday Club into Wednesday and Thursday sessions too. He saw friends struggle with alcohol, reaching points of no return. Often he found himself looking after those who drank too much. The culture made it impossible to speak up. Drinking was just something everybody did. There was no formal support for mental health or addiction. Players had to figure things out on their own or rely on teammates like Seaman to help. Years later, Seaman took a drink-aware test. Even though he considered himself a moderate drinker who just enjoyed a glass of wine or a few beers at games, the results shocked him. He was in the increasing risk category. The revelation made him hyper-aware of his intake and led him to significantly reduce his drinking. This personal discovery shows how even careful people can underestimate their consumption. It also reflects how normalized drinking had become in football culture. His shift to reduce consumption led to increased productivity and improved overall health, including weight loss. The spotlight of professional football casts long shadows on Seaman's life. He openly admits to experiencing fan abuse during his career, including being spat on. The intensity of public scrutiny was constant and unforgiving. One of his most painful moments came during the 2002 World Cup quarterfinal against Brazil. Ronaldinho's unexpected free kick caught Seaman off guard, leading to a goal that sealed England's exit from the tournament. The error left him visibly distraught and in tears on the pitch. Immediately after conceding, Seaman's mind went to the intense backlash David Beckham had faced after the 1998 World Cup. Former teammate Teddy Sheringham described the abuse Beckham received as disgusting, noting it could have broken him. The fear of similar public shaming was real and immediate. Nigel Martin, who was warming up as Seaman's potential replacement, understood the pressure perfectly. He said if he had conceded a similar goal, the nation would have hounded me out. This shows the immense psychological burden placed on high-profile athletes after public mistakes. Seaman's simple explanation for the goal revealed his confusion. I just felt it was going to go somewhere it didn't. The perceived consequences of such mistakes extend far beyond the immediate game, threatening reputation, personal well-being, and career longevity. During this difficult period, Seaman found his escape through fishing. He discovered that even if he didn't catch anything, simply being in the countryside provided profound relaxation and stress relief. This became his vital coping mechanism for managing the pressures of football fame. Fishing wasn't prescribed therapy. It was a personal strategy that showed his capacity for self-awareness and self-care. His adoption of this hobby predated widespread discussions about mental health in sports by years. He found it to be a perfect match for escaping the intense environment of his career. Seaman's commitment to the game was extraordinary, even when facing serious injuries. One of the most astonishing incidents occurred in the 1990s when Lee Chapman's studs punctured his scrotum during a match. As Seaman went to collect a low ball, Chapman slid in with his studs traveling from Seaman's knee directly into his groin area. The immediate pain was intense. leaving him crumpled on the pitch. Gordon Strachan approached him and said, "Get up, you southern softy." Initially offended by the comment, Seaman soon discovered the severity of his injury. He found blood on his underslip around his groin area. Chapman's studs had actually punctured his scrotum. Remarkably, this happened just 5 minutes before halftime. His physio, Gary, quickly cleaned the wound, applied Vaseline and padding, and repeatedly reassured him they'd get him to halftime. At the break, Seaman went straight to the medical room where he was stitched up. Then he returned to play the entire second half. This extraordinary display of pain tolerance reflects the different expectations placed on players in that era. Many people today express disbelief that anyone would continue playing under such circumstances. The incident highlights a stark contrast with modern player reactions and heightened awareness of player safety. While the scrotum injury was dramatic, it was recurring shoulder problems that eventually ended Seaman's career. These persistent issues match for Manchester City against Portsmouth on January 10, 2004. In a challenge with Yakubu, Seaman sustained a significant shoulder injury that forced him to be substituted after only 13 minutes. This injury proved decisive in his difficult decision to retire from professional football after more than 2 decades. He recognized that the nature of this recurring injury meant it would not quickly disappear. Despite the disappointment of an injury-forced retirement, Seaman expressed immense pride in his fantastic career playing at the highest level. His departure from Manchester City saw him replaced by David James, whom Seaman endorsed, stating, "After deciding to retire, it was a pleasure to recommend David James, so I know the position is in safe hands." Today, David Seaman is a different man from the silent goalkeeper who once absorbed everything without complaint. He's become a vocal advocate for mental health awareness, particularly for men. He finds it really weird that men find it so hard to talk about mental health issues, noting that only 25% of men report finding it easy to discuss their challenges. His primary advice for anyone struggling is straightforward but profound. Just speak to somebody. This direct challenge to traditional masculine norms represents a significant contribution to conversations about men's mental health. Seaman actively supports the charity Tackling Minds, which uses fishing events to help people facing mental health challenges. He champions research showing that 86% of anglers report improved mental health through the sport, with 95% recommending it to others seeking support. He views purchasing a fishing rod license not just as a regulatory requirement, but as an investment in self-care. All income generated supports initiatives like Tackling Minds, improves fish stocks, and enhances habitats. His participation in campaigns and direct engagement with individuals who have overcome anxiety, PTSD, and alcoholism through fishing underscores his dedication to fostering open dialogue. Seaman also serves as a celebrity ambassador for the British Heart Foundation, a cause that became personal after he was diagnosed with atrial fibrillation. His involvement includes handing in petitions at 10 Downing Street, demonstrating his commitment to raising awareness about critical culture to mental health advocacy shows remarkable personal growth. The man who once watched teammates struggle in silence now actively works to ensure others don't face the same isolation. Seaman's post-retirement career includes media work as a pundit and speaker. He frequently discusses peak performance, teamwork, and handling pressure, drawing from his extensive experience. He's available as a celebrity guest speaker for corporate events and has even competed on reality television shows like Dancing on Ice. His willingness to discuss difficult topics like alcohol consumption, fan abuse, and mental health represents a significant shift from football's traditional culture of silence. By speaking out, Seaman helps normalize these conversations and encourages others to seek support when needed. The goalkeeper who once kept everything locked away now believes in the power of opening up. His message is clear. Talking about problems doesn't make you weak, it makes you human. And sometimes, the bravest thing you can do is ask for help. David Seaman's legacy extends far beyond his saves and trophies. He stands as proof that even the strongest people face struggles, and that real strength comes from being honest about those challenges. His advocacy helps destigmatize mental health issues and promotes accessible, nature-based solutions for coping with life's pressures.